Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I'm Gift or Gete. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria would abide by the ruling of the International Court of Justice, ICJ, on the Bakassi Peninsula. This was contained in a press release issued in Yaoundé, the Cameroonian capital, by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. The President Buhari was quoted as speaking at an interactive session with Nigerians living in Cameroon during his two-day working and final visit to the country. The President ordered that his administration will ensure the faithful implementation of the Green Tree Agreement, which regulates the ceding of Bakassi to Cameroon. President Buhari, who is on his maiden visit to the country after his inauguration on May 29, said his administration is yet to articulate a foreign policy for Nigeria beyond what was captured in the All Progressives Congress APC party's manifesto. The president urged Nigerians in diaspora to be law-abiding in their host countries and told representatives of the over 4 million Nigerians living in Cameroon to continue to live in peace and harmony with Cameroonians. President Buhari will depart Cameroon for Abuja on Thursday after addressing a joint press conference in Yaoundé with the host, President Paul Biya. The immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Air Vice Marshal Alex Bade, has admitted that some military personnel sabotaged the war against insurgency. Bade maintained that the fifth columnist in the military were passing information on troops' movement to the insurgents at the beginning of the operations. This, he says, had negatively impacted on the offensive against Boko Haram and led to the death of many soldiers at the front line of the war against insurgency. The former DSS spoke at the pulling out parade held in his honor in Abuja. More details in our subsequent news bulletin. Nigerian Air Force fighter jets have blocked what it believed to be the fuel supply route of Boko Haram along the nation's border with Cameroon. Air Force spokesman Air Commodore Dele Alonge said in a statement on Wednesday that about 4,000 drums and jerrycans of petroleum product and other smuggled items were also seized. He said the items believed to be supplies for the insurgent were seized from smugglers in Pepe Dashin Hausa and Belbe Bilachi and Congo village located along the Nigeria-Cameroon borders on Tuesday. The Air Force spokesman ordered that the fuel supply route of the insurgents was cut off through sustained air patrol activities along the Nigeria-Cameroon border. He also noted that the Air Force continued to identify and destroy Boko Haram camps and supplies using surveillance and combat aircraft. Senate President Bukola Saraki is to lead a delegation of senators to Maiduguri to ascertain the condition of people displaced by Boko Haram activities in the northeast. This was the outcome of the debate by senators on the need for the government to rehabilitate areas affected by insurgency. The senators also want President Muhammadu Buhari to do all in his powers to end the insurgency, as well as establish a presidential intervention committee on the rehabilitation of destroyed infrastructure in the region.
The motion was moved by Senator George Sekibo, who was the chairman of the Defense Committee in the 7th Senate and supported by 35 others. He argued that the damage done to infrastructure in the northeast region by Boko Haram insurgents is massive enough to cause the government to set up an intervention committee. Sekibo's motion was widely accepted and prompted positive responses from his colleagues.
You can see I am today smiling again because what George did or has shown us, there will be 37 of us, and I'm sure this motion, if whether consultations were made, almost all of us would have signed on to it. We want to thank you very much, and we want you to continue giving us the support, and the suggestion made by the guest is very important. You need to go. Mr. Senate President, you need to please go to Maiduguri.
You can't even go to my village because all the bridges are being destroyed. Some by the Boko Haram, some by the military. And if we want to now sit down, when someone said we need to visit, and I saw some of our colleagues laughing and maybe probably being scared, but you don't have a home that you call your own, except when you look at your external home, where your great-grandparents were born.
Mr. President, I come from I say one, because I think everybody is entitled to his own opinion. If not, I would have said the most ravaged and the most devastated senatorial zone in Nigeria today. I have 10 local governments. In my election, in the last general election, 8 local governments held their elections in IDPs in Maiduguri, the state capital. 8 out of 10.
There were others who want federal authorities to cut recurrent expenditure before pumping funds into the region. But at least one senator would prefer the government to wait until the war against insurgents is won.
Every right-thinking person, regardless of where they're from on planet Earth, would support everything that has been said today. But here's the problem. If we all support what needs to be done in the Northeast, why are we not talking about reducing recurrent expenditure so we can fund what needs to be done in the Northeast? Pumping money to repair roads and bridges and schools, as long as the war continues to ravage that part of the country, we will continue to do that, and it's not possible. Rehabilitation comes in after peace is restored.
At the end of the debate, the Senate unanimously urged the President to set up a presidential intervention committee. Senators also want the Senate President to lead a delegation to Maiduguri to have a first-hand knowledge of the condition of people displaced by the insurgents.
I support also, very importantly, the fact that we must all, though the motion says that we approve, prayer says that the delegation, a powerful delegation, but it is clear that it is the interest of all of us to have an experience, to visit and have a first-hand experience so that we can really all be committed and feel the need to find a solution.
The Senate is also to mandate its committee on special duties to monitor the welfare of internally displaced persons across the country.
The Nigerian Army says the sporadic shooting heard around the Damaturu metropolis on Tuesday was due to the action of one of its soldiers. It ordered that the soldier has now been placed under arrest. The Army authorities made the explanation in a statement issued by Acting Director, Army Public Relations Colonel Sani Usman. Had described the soldier's act as a gross act of indiscipline and appealed to the public, especially those in Damaturu, to remain calm and go about their normal businesses. In another development, troops have rescued 30 people, including a 6-day-old infant, from Boko Haram terrorists in Kwayabe and Wufe wards of Dikwa local government area in Borno State. This, the Army spokesman, Sami Usman, said, is after soldiers pushed out the insurgents from the area. He said in a statement that those rescued include 21 children, 7 women, out of which 3 are nursing mothers and 2 elderly male adults. The Senate has deferred the screening of newly appointed service chiefs to next week, Tuesday. Senate President Bukola Saraki had earlier announced at plenary that the confirmation hearing would hold on Thursday at 10 in the morning. But a few hours later, indications emerged that service chiefs were slated to appear at the pulling out parade for the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade. The Senate President is also slated to attend the ceremony at an invitation that had been sent to his office at the time he was announcing the screening. This prompted the Senate to shift the screening till Tuesday. Defense intelligence operatives and the police personnel are set to collaborate on sharing of intelligence. This is the outcome of a meeting between Chief of Defense Intelligence, Air Vice Marshal Monday Morgan, and Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase at the force headquarters in Abuja. Air Vice Marshal Morgan also promised to support the police through improved capacity building on intelligence gathering for police detectives with a view to enhancing national security. Arase, in his response, congratulated the Chief of Defense Intelligence on his appointment. The Inspector General also urged the Defense Intelligence Chief to extend the training on intelligence to junior police officers. It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take this break. Please stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
With the emergence of Femi Gbajabiamila's majority leader of the House of Representatives and the vote of confidence passed on Senate President Bukola Saraki, there are insinuations the leadership tussle that has rocked the 8th National Assembly since its inauguration on June 9 may have ended. Femi Oguntoye spoke with a legal practitioner and political affairs analyst on the updates. Details in this report.
Aftermath the meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and APC members of the House of Reps, Nigerians have anticipated a more coordinated 8th National Assembly as both houses reconvene. The sitting at the upper chamber, however, did not end without some drama.
The activities of these chambers on the 23rd and 24th are equally a nullity. Therefore, can you give me a space, please? I'm not addressing you.
There's no rule. You said there's no snake.
Legal practitioner Bayo Ayo and political affairs analyst Bola Oba, however, believe there's a silver lining in the dark clouds on the prolonged crisis.
A bridge has been crossed, a bridge that I thought a couple of weeks ago may be difficult to maneuver, and it took the literal involvement of a president who initially wanted to be distant as a result of his political naivety.
It takes a lot of maturity to have gone through the last 2 months and then come back and say, okay, I've forgiven and I've forgotten. So I'll be cautiously optimistic that things are okay.
The alleged forged Senate rules and the questioning of Toyin Saraki by the EFCC are issues still pending, even as a vote of confidence was passed on the Senate President Bukola Saraki and his deputy Ike Ekweremadu.
Where that investigation is carried out and it's properly carried out, and people are indicted, and there's a further move to convict them, it means that it will have shown that the election of Senator Bukola Saraki stood on nothing.
I am one who believes that there is profound political polarization into that thing, and unfortunately so. But you know what? Saraki got the first blood. You cannot take advantage of me and expect me to act gentlemanly to you.
In Nigeria, everything has a political correlation, whichever way you look at it. She's the wife of the Senate President. And the point is this: we only ascribe political colorations to this thing. If you have offended the law, let the law take its course.
With the reconvening of both houses of the National Assembly and the election of principal officers, Nigerians expect that aggrieved parties will sheath their swords and get to work.
Hereby moved, say aye. And those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Nifemi Oguntoye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has refused to stop the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, from appointing principal officers and standing committees. In a ruling, Justice Gabriel Kolawole held that the ex parte motion brought by Abubakar Lado and Olanipe Kunjimo is on an issue that is strictly a domestic affair of the House of Representatives. Justice Kolawole said the court can only intervene when there is substantial infraction of the 1999 Constitution, and noted that for now there was no breach. He ordered that it is not the duty of the court to choose principal officers for the National Assembly because it has its own machinery to do so. The judge also pointed out the court will not allow itself to be used as a platform by aggrieved members to get what they should have canvassed for on the floor of the House. The case has been adjourned to August 12. The case transferred to Justice Adeni Ademola. The House of Representatives has resolved that the 4 billion naira owed West African Examinations Council by students under government's sponsorship be paid by the affected state. The resolution follows the unanimous adoption of a motion raised by Linus Okorie, representing Ohazora Ohiacha Ivo Federal Constituency on Wednesday. In his presentation, Okorie explained that more than half of the 1.2 million candidates face a
now invite the House to resolve
of the results by
to constitute a committee, another committee, to urgently intervene in the alleged crisis and report back to the House within 1 week.
The leadership crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State is still festering, with the elders and chairman of the party in the 16 local government areas of the state urging members to disregard the Olatunde-led executives in the press conference held under tight security at the party's headquarters in Ado Ekiti. Rashid has more.
For some time now, the PDP in Ekiti State has lurched from one crisis to the other, but of major interest is the leadership crisis within the party, which has given rise to the emergence of two separate chairmen, Idowu Faleye and Tunde Olatunde. While the Olatunde-led faction draws legitimacy from the occupation of the party secretariat, the Faleye-led faction, in an apparent comeback, stormed the party secretariat to have the meeting of the party's elders amidst tight security. The elders and chairmen of the party from the 16 local government areas have come out to declare their support for the Idowu Faleye-led faction. They were led by an ex-state chairman of the party, Bola Oduojo.
The meeting hereby resolved that the only ESCO known to them and to the numerous members of PDP in Ekiti State is the Idowu Faleye-led ESCO, and that the Olatunde-led ESCO is illegal.
They added that the party will do everything within its constitution to sanction the Olatunde-led faction.
The meeting called on the state party chairman, Chief Idowu Faleye, to call a meeting of the SEC to take the necessary action against Olatunde, Aluko, and others in the group.
In a swift reaction, the Olatunde-led faction said the national headquarters of the PDP has directed status quo to be maintained pending conclusion of its investigation to the crisis.
The national too is abreast of what is going on in Ekiti, and some leaders in Ekiti at a point in time, they tried a little effort in order to resolve it, but as at now, nothing has been done, and the situation remains the same.
With this current upheaval, all points to the crisis still to be resolved, but time will tell who blinks first. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Osun State workers who had been going back and forth on industrial action over non-payment of their salaries have been recalled to their duty post. The suspension of the strike was announced by the chairman, Nigerian Labour Congress Osun Council, Jacob Adekomi, on Wednesday after entering into a new agreement with the state government.
As for the last MOU, the problem that I think came up with that is when workers heard that 800 and something billion have been released to states as bailout, they assume that there's no way our state will not collect at least about 10%. But they fail to appreciate that it's not really a bailout as such, it's really FAC. And what is FAC? Both federal and state and local government must share in the proportion. I think federal government is about 52.something%. So what actually came to the state was about 40-something. And what came to our state was 2.2 billion, as opposed to about 3.6. And the local government, so 2.1 billion. So that is what created the problem. But the complication gap was the fact that they didn't see that money as the share of the state. So when he was referring to communication gap, it was because on the same page, because they didn't have, I believe they didn't have the facts.
That the government is committed to payment of shortfall. You are aware that level 1 to 7 were paid full salaries, while level 8 and above were paid 50%. And that leads to the shortfall. That the government is committed to payment of that shortfall of January and February 2015 salaries for workers in state civil service, and March and April 2015 salaries for local government staff and primary school teachers when the bailout fund is received. That payment of February 2015 salary for the state workers is to commence as from Monday 3rd August 2015. That balance of pensions for February 2015 and full pensions for March and April 2015 for retired primary school teachers, and balance of pensions for March and April 2015 for retired local government workers be paid from the bailout funds. That November 2014 deductions had been paid to ministry, departments and agencies of government, and January 2015 full deductions for officers on GLO 1 to 7 and 50% of deduction of officers on GLO 8 and above had equally been paid to various ministries and departments and agencies of government, which cannot be processed as a result of the ongoing strike action. That the state government is committed to full employment and not retrenchment of workers. I repeat, that the state government is committed to full employment and not retrenchment of workers.
The intrigue surrounding the health status and alleged death of Dioni of Ife, Oba Okwade Shijuade, has not ceased, with updates since the news broke, while the Ife Royal Court, consisting of 16 high chiefs, paid a visit to the Osun State Governor led by the Lower Adimula of Ife, Joseph Ejaodola. The chief stated that the monarch is still alive and that even if he is dead, it is the chiefs that has the right to break the news. The governor, Ralph Aregbesola, also cued into the claims by the chiefs while the wait is on. A 27-year-old Nigerian, Dr. Oladotun Olalusi, has made history in Russia with a place in the Hall of Fame of the Russian National Research Medical University, Moscow, after graduating as one of the best students. Dr. Olalusi, who backed a federal government scholarship award to study medicine in Russia under the Russian-Nigerian Bilateral Education Agreement in December 2006, emerged the best graduating student with a cumulative grade point average CGPA of 5.0 out of a possible 5.0 in June 2013. Receiving Dr. Olalusi at a brief ceremony in Abuja, the permanent secretary in the Education Ministry, Mark John Nwabiola, described him as a genius. Olalusi, for the part, assured the authorities of his readiness to contribute to the development of the country through positive application of his knowledge.
What we have done today is to appreciate one of our own, a scholar that we call a genius, Dr. Olalusi Victor, who scored in his studies in medicine in Russia. He scored the maximum points, 5.0 upon 5.0. Like I said, if you comb the Guinness Book of Records, it might be difficult for you to see any person globally that could achieve that feat.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for this special day. And I would like to thank the Federal Scholarship Board via the Federal Ministry of Education. And I am so much indebted to them for the opportunity that they make available every time to young Nigerians, young promising Nigerians. And I want to let you know that what has been responsible for this majorly has been, it's a mix of trust in God, hard work, and dedication. You know, you have to stay true to what you believe works, and you have to stay true to what your goals and dreams in life are.
It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break. Please stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Outside Nigeria now, French officials are investigating whether plane wreckage that washed up on an Indian Ocean island is from missing flight MH370. The debris, apparently a wing flap, was found on French-owned Reunion. An aviation security expert said it had incredible similarities to a flap from a Boeing 777, the type of plane that vanished in March 2014. But the island is a huge distance from the plane's search area, and there have been other crashes much closer. No part of the Malaysian airline flight has ever been found. It disappeared en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. Aviation expert Xavier Tillman said a code of the plane would be examined, promising a definitive answer on whether there was a link in a few days. The Afghan government is investigating new reports that Taliban leader Mullah Omar has died. A spokesman said the Taliban has yet to comment on the claim, which was made by top sources within the Afghan administration and intelligence agency. The sources said the reclusive militant leader had died 2 to 3 years ago. The latest claims of Mullah Omar's death are being taken more seriously than previous such reports. The Taliban is expected to issue a statement soon. A spokesman for Afghan President Ashraf Ghani says that the authorities were trying to verify the report. Mullah Omar led the Taliban to victory over rival Afghan militants in the civil war that followed the withdrawal of Soviet troops. His alliance with al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden prompted the US-led invasion of Afghanistan in 2001 in the aftermath of the 9/11 attack on New York and Washington. Though the reported death of their leader is something the Taliban has described as a figment of the imagination of the Afghan government. And that's our news for this hour. Thank you so much for staying on with us. Please join us again. I am Gift Walker.